All right, welcome back to another episode of the Jay Stone Show at rockmetaltalk.com. Don't forget to check me out on GraniteCoastEntertainment.com and MaximumThreshold.net. So it's been a long week. I got my other speaker system tripping me up in the background here. So give me just a second while I shut that down. I have a test system that runs behind me, so I'm not sure why I'm getting feedback here in my own show on my headphones, but because that's already been turned off. But anyway, that was Skin Drone, God Complex. I have OTTO on the phone, so it's been a long week. I've been trying to get these guys on for a while. As you guys know, I go through some scheduling things every 6 months, so I can't always book people when they immediately want to come on. But they put out a CD. Physical copies are coming out relatively soon. They got a little bit of a campaign going on. If you buy a T-shirt, you get a CD with it. But we'll get into that. So welcome to the show, OTTO.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, Jay.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Sorry it took me so long to get you guys on, but, during those 6 months, it's, sometimes I got a big waiting period, so it's hard to double.
I totally understand, man.
But
yeah, I totally understand, bro. It's all good, and you know what? Better late than never. So
yeah, I hear you. You guys do a lot of press anyway, so that was one of the things I was going to ask you. You guys are always finding all these different radio shows to go on. I always see you posting about them. How do you guys research that type of stuff to find these shows?
That's a good question. A lot of them, because I run the label Blunt Face Records as well. So a lot of it is, just relationships and people we've dealt with for a very long time. And then, others are just through, other people we work with, shows that we see. We're always on the lookout for new stations, obviously, because working the PR angle of it, we're always trying to reach out and communicate with new shows and new DJs who are into metal and into what we do. So it's just like anything, looking at websites and going on Reputation, other people who have been on there and such and such. So this good old-fashioned, nose to the grindstone kind of work, old school style.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what you have to do these days. At least, there's a medium. When I was back in the day doing this, there wasn't this type of stuff for me to go to promote. If you couldn't get on a real radio station, basically. Not that they're any more real, but in today's,
Yeah, I hear you completely, man. And, I think that's where internet radio has come so far. Now it's so much. I remember when it was first starting out, there was sort of an arrogance, the way that, quote unquote, regular radio or terrestrial radio looked at internet radio. Like, oh yeah, that crap, or it's so small time, or some guy doing it in his mother's basement. But, it has exploded in the last several years. And just here locally in the Boston area, I've been on a few shows in the past few weeks that are, run out of actually big, proper studios, the regular radio stations and recording studios that would put a lot of these quote-unquote terrestrial stations to shame in terms of how they operate and everything that goes into them. So it's no longer that. Internet radio has exploded, and I'm very thankful for that, because it's people like yourself, Jay, that have given, bands like Skin Drone and Markradon and Isolated Antagonist, everything that we do at Blunt Face Records, given us a voice and an outlet to actually communicate with people.
That's what it's about. And terrestrial radio isn't going to do those sorts of things because they want to generate more of an income, where we're more interested in getting the music out there. I mean, these radio stations on the internet, they come and go. I've been doing it a long time. So I've seen them take some of my ideas. I've used some of theirs to the degree where I had to create something around it to make it mine, not just outright took an idea. But, I listen to a lot of Howard Stern, but they still look at this industry as weaker because it doesn't manufacture money. It's not in the car, but that's soon to be changed. So, and little do they know, a lot of us are actually educated in this. I mean, I have degrees in television and radio broadcast, and so I choose to do it like this because of the style of music and the freedom that I get to have guys like you on the show.
Yeah, who wants to be restricted? You know, who
Right.
wants to be told that they have to do this? And that's the thing. When revenue is dictating your decisions, then you no longer have the freedom to really do what you want to do, because now you have somebody to answer to because it's being driven by finance. We have the same attitude with Blunt Face Records. Excuse me. Whereas, you know, we don't necessarily look at bands that we want to sign and bands we want to work with. You know, we don't look at them as, well, how financially viable are they? If that was the case, then we wouldn't do any extreme metal, because extreme metal as a whole is not, you know, it's not ever going to be on the same level as, you know, pop music that people like Justin Bieber and Beyonce do. Thank God, I think that's a great thing, but I mean, the reality is it's not ever going to be as financially viable as that other stuff is.
Right. It's not as marketable.
Just because yeah, of course, because naturally it appeals to a much more narrow amount of people. Now, I think that's a great thing because, you know, I mean, we could sit here and talk all day about, you know, how, you know, you're not dealing with people who are just using music as a fad or music as a water cooler. Hey, did you see the new Beyonce video or all that bullshit? You know, like
did you see the outfit she was wearing, or she had the Apple iWatch on?
Exactly. I like that with metal, and especially with the underground. It's not nearly actually. But I can't even think of an example on top of my head where it's used as a water cooler type topic to enhance your social life. And look at me, I know about, you know,
right.
I know about Justin Bieber, and I know about Taylor Swift, and this, that, and get involved in the gossip. You know, it's about the love of the music, and people are passionate about it.
Right.
They definitely have their opinions about it. They're usually very well educated about it and about the history, and so it's cool. Like I've never not been able to have a very in-depth conversation about metal with another metalhead. I don't think you can say that if you listen to run-of-the-mill, you know, revenue generated radio pop music. They usually don't know anything or care, you know. Right. I'll give you a perfect example. I'm going in August. I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but this might be a little late for that.
No, that's what it's all about, man. This is what makes good radio.
I'm going in August with my wife and my father-in-law. My father-in-law is a huge fan of like classic metal. We're going to see Black Sabbath when they come around on their last tour, because, you know, it's Sabbath, like one of my favorite bands of all time. Now, to put things in perspective, my wife was with a bunch of her friends from college, and you know, they were all talking about, oh, let's go to a concert together, it'd be fun. They're talking about going to some shitty country like Toby Keith or I don't know. So, like, I don't mind country music, but mainstream country music is just as horrible as mainstream pop music, because it's the same thing. It's the same formulaic, contrived, you know, down to several producers writing the song, and the actual quote-unquote musician is just a performer, not an actual musician.
Right, an entertainer,
so I don't
so
know
to
if it was,
speak.
yeah, I don't know if it was Toby Keith, but it was somebody like that. Or like maybe Florida Georgia Line or some terrible, terrible group like that. And so they're like, oh yeah, that'd be fun. And my wife's like, yeah, I don't know. That sounds kind of shitty. Like, but we're going to see Black Sabbath in August. And her friends were like, I wouldn't tell people that. Like all snooty and all like judgmental. And that is exactly why. That in a microcosm is why I despise mainstream music. That attitude and those people, those are the kind of people that listen to it, and I don't want to be a part of anything that they're a part of.
See, what a lot of people don't understand about, you know, death metal or extreme metal is that.
And you know what? I don't have the energy to explain it about it, because I don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know, like, I'm not going to sit here
and just